Dr. Deepa Raja, once a medical practitioner, shifted her focus to understanding more about dyslexia and learning difficulties after her son was diagnosed with dyslexia. Her son is now 26 years old, a successful lawyer, and Dr. Raja has become a passionate advocate for inclusive education. She has spoken at international platforms like Sen Show London, BET Asia EdTech Summit, and has represented India at global conferences on special needs and technology. Dr. Deepa runs ISEN Multisensory Center and Sensible Labs in Ahmedabad, providing cutting-edge interventions for children with learning difficulties and autism. She also consults schools to create LD-friendly environments, promotes reflective strategies, and integrates intervention technology for independent learning. She holds multiple qualifications in dyslexia and special education and has trained teachers worldwide. And I'm also under her wings, so I can vouch for that. We welcome Dr. Ravi Soni. He is the first and only geriatric psychiatrist of Gujarat. He's a consultant geriatric psychiatrist at Ahmedabad. He completed MBBS and MD in psychiatry from BJ Medical College, Civil Hospital, Ahmedabad. He got DM in geriatric mental health from King George Medical College, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. He's a member of Indian Association of Private Psychiatry, Indian Association of Geriatric Mental Health, Indian Medical Association, Ahmedabad Medical Association, and Indian Psychiatric Society, Life Ordinary Western Zonal Branch, and Gujarat State Branch. He's been serving the community as a resource person for Disability Certification Camp for Mental Retardation organized by Blind People's Association in 2010 and 2011. Mental Health Primary Care Project run by Dr. G.K. Vankar, Head and Professor, Department of Psychiatry, and funded by Mental Health Organization, Health and Family Welfare Department. Government of Gujarat from 2008 and 2011. And in celebration of various days like World Elder Day, Elder Abuse Prevention Day, World Suicide Prevention Day, World Alzheimer's Day, and Mental Health Week, etc. We welcome both of you for being here and looking forward to hearing all the wonderful things that you have to say and enlighten us. Thank you.
Good evening, namaste. Majama? Okay, chai coffee peene aaya cho? There's a lot, lot of knowledge which you will have to take. First of all, do you want me to talk in English, Gujarati, or mix, or Hindi, whatever? Anything? All right, fine. Then let's start with one question. Okay? What is the first emotion, or what is the first need of any human being? Yes?
To be loved and cared for.
Yes? Same? Okay. And how do you feel loved and cared for?
When others show it, then others
Exactly. How do others show it? They listen to. And why would they listen to you?
they are empathetic, they help to empower you. Not see, empathy is one thing, but it's important to empower the other person too.
Exactly.
Is the person that you know what the person is going through, but you should be empathetic, definitely, and even better, empower the person.
Absolutely. So when there's empathy, you accept the person. Am I right? Right? So the first thing, what we all need is the feeling of being accepted. Am I correct? All right. So unless and until we realize the feeling and understand parts of different learning or learning difficulties, we will not be able to accept them the way they are. Am I right? Am I right? All right. So then for that, we'll just have a quick, sir has given me, Dr. Ravi, sir has given me a few more minutes. I'm just going to take this and play a bit, because NEP says that there has to be a lot of hands-on learning, right? So I'm just not going to say blah, blah, blah. But we'll play a simple game within 2 to 3 minutes. Am I correct? Find your partner. Pujam, will you help us? Like, find your partner and just change the shift. Just change the seat. So probably, yeah, so if you can face here. We'll do it pretty quickly. We'll do it pretty quickly so that we get some more time. And I do not eat Dr. Ravi's time. Please fast, and can we give the paper? Can we give the paper, ma'am? All right. Meanwhile, you're changing your seats. I am sharing some instructions. All right? Not like that. Not like that. Exactly, one has to see my face and the other cannot see my face. I'm sorry. All right. Essay. Essay. See, like this. Ma'am, see. Yeah, so you'll need a partner. Okay. Meanwhile, please start listening to my instructions also. The class needs to be peaceful. Okay, not like that. Like this. The only thing is that this activity will only make you go through the pillars. That's why. Yeah. All right. No worries. No worries. Fine. Let it be. Let it be. Don't look at the board. I'll show you. Pooja ma'am, that's okay. All right. So right now, people who can see my face, can you raise your hand? Okay. So you're going to see my face? All right. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. From this side, please cheating nahi karta. Huh? આ સાઈડથી તમે જોશો મારો ફેસ એમને ના જોવા દઈ તો હા All right. Yeah. Take your partner. All right. So I'm going to show you a piece of paper. People who can see me will have to act to their partner. No, only one will need paper, but it's okay. Let them keep. All right. Pooja ma'am, this line will not see me, so that these people can see me. This line. All right. તમે તમારા પાર્ટનરને જોશો પ્લીઝ. All right, shall we start? I am going to show you a picture. You will have to act out to your partner. Okay? અને આ છે ને આમ છે ને એવું નથી બોલવાનું. It's going to be pin drop silence. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. અહીંયા ખાલી ક્લેરિફાય કરું છું કે આ લાઈન મને નહીં જોવે આ સાઈડની ઓકે તમે મને જોશો ઓલરાઈટ પછી તમને મળશે જોવા અત્યારે નહીં ઓલરાઈટ shall we start? Any questions? I'll answer right now. પછી નહીં કરું. You only have 1 minute. Yes. You have to look. You will not use your words and you will have to act. She will draw what you act. ઓલરાઈટ જે પાર્ટનર્સ જોવે છે એ સામેવાળા પાર્ટનર્સ જે પણ એક્ટ કરે એ ડ્રો કરવાનું છે ઓલરાઈટ ક્લિયર ઓલરાઈટ એક જ મિનિટમાં કરવું છે આપણે પાસે ટાઈમ નથી હા એટલે રાજધાની એક્સપ્રેસ ઓલરાઈટ ઓલરાઈટ સ્ટાર્ટ યોર મિનિટ સ્ટાર્ટ્સ નાઉ બોલવાનું નથી All right, last 10 seconds. 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 bajao. Okay, pens down. All right, pens down, pens down. All right, now tell me, how was it? The partner, yes, how was it? So how was she as your? Very well, oh wow. And how would you rate, because you've seen the picture? Perfect. Oh.
She started in, I think, in 8 seconds only she drew this.
Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Was it difficult or no? It was okay. Anybody found difficulty? No? Everyone drew perfectly okay? Oh, lovely. All right then. Now all of you can see my face and we're going to ask you some questions. Okay. Okay. So meanwhile, you're changing your seats. What was the first skill you used? What was the first skill you used? People who were looking at the picture. What was the first skill? Observation. Very good. Very good. This class is amazing. All right. So then what was the second one? Expression, that comes later. But then after looking at the picture, thinking. Okay. Something more? Imagination, but you were looking at the picture, right? So where will you put that picture after looking, observing attentively? Where will you put that picture? Expressing will definitely come. It'll come after two. Perception. Yes. So you will put that picture into your perception. Am I correct? Right. And then after perception, where will you keep? Express बाद में आएगा. नहीं, very important skill, very important. You all will expect your students to do what? Respond. How? But how will you, like, there has to be some storage, no? Memory. Right. You will, after perceiving, you will put it into your memory. How many types of memory do we have? Yes? Steve? Yes? Yes. Short term? With kids? Yeah, we'll go a little slow. So, short term? Long term? Okay. मैं अभी अपना नंबर बता रही हूँ, आप लिखोगे नहीं, प्लीज़ नहीं लिखोगे, ओके? 9824042929. ऑल राइट. तो शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी, लॉन्ग टर्म मेमोरी. जनरली शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी कितनी बार रहती है हमारे पास? 7 seconds. ऑल राइट. अगर वो इन्फॉर्मेशन इंपॉर्टेंट है तो वो कबर्ड में जाएगी. अगर इन्फॉर्मेशन इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है तो वो कबर्ड में नहीं जाएगी, वो डिसअपियर हो जाएगी. All right. Also, the third type of memory which I want to introduce here is, I generally go with that game, but genuinely I'm also running right now, you know, because I want to cover a lot of things at the same time. I want to finish it up in the time. So this memory is working memory. Okay. Do you remember we used to do a lot of mental math? Say 2 plus 2. Right. All right. Now briefly, just a quick note on your working memory. I will just say a set of numbers, letters or words, okay? And you will have to write it in the reverse order. Correct? You can turn down your page. Because we are here at attention, we're at perception. So you've already learned attention, you've already learned perception. You're learning memory. Okay? So I will have to just make it up, okay? I do not have it in my paper right now. I'll just make it up. Okay, I will start saying. Will you just write it down somewhere? Okay, 9, 7, not now, after I finish. After I finish. 9, 7, 5, 2, horse, the, table, the. Lakho. रिवर्स ऑर्डरमा कीधुं छो. ओके डन डन લખાઈ ગયું બધાને? ચાલો બોલો. રિવર્સ ઓર્ડર. One missing? Okay, he has it all right. Okay, so who has one missing? All right. Now tell me, what were the strategies you used? क्यों? Can we allow them to write in the reverse order? All educators, can we do that, sir? No, but how can you write it in the reverse order? Be- but she started from right. Exactly, because you felt it right. It's okay. That's how you felt it, and that's how you remembered it. So that's okay, right? जैसे बोलते हैं ना, ऐसे everything is fair in love and war. So मुझे ऐसे ठीक लगा, तो मैंने ऐसे याद किया, but I did it, right? So this is the difference. Got it? This is a working memory. Why working memory? Because you have to manipulate the information inside, right? Was it difficult? No? ये तो खाली एक ही था, हाँ? Because I was trying to do your short-term memory. All right, so a brain has a capacity of storing 7 plus minus 2 chunks. Chunks, okay? Chunk आप कितना भी बना सकते हो. Right? So now if we go through our pillars of learning, it's attention, perception, memory. Memory आपने अपनी count भी कर ली. I think it's more than 7. So if you've got it all right, you have 10 on 10. And the last one is expression, right? Right now what we all focus is more on expression. Because वही बताते, but अंदर क्या चल रहा है during memory में क्या चल रहा है या perception में क्या चल रहा है. It's so difficult, isn't it? Right? All right, yeah, let's go forward. Okay, so these are the 3 distinct stages of memory which you've already done. And then after a while, you're going to tell me the number. चलो, किसको याद है मेरा number? नहीं, आप नहीं. Okay. All right. All right. So, we're all here to understand what learning difference is. Am I right? Right? To accept the difference. जैसे इन्होंने right to left लिया, we have to accept because that's her way of remembering, her way of writing. But generally in the classroom, do we do that? Do we do that? We will tell them, no, right from left to right. ये उर्दू नहीं है, उर्दू right to left लिखते हैं. Right? But that's not correct. So here again, we are enjoying the difference. We are accepting the difference. NEP policy. I was just talking when I was talking in the room with Sir. I was just saying that initially 1985 की PWD Act थी, okay, जिसमें dyslexia, ADD, ADHD, autism कुछ भी included नहीं था, okay. Then came 2016 PWD Act, wherein ये काफ़ी serious, काफ़ी चीज़ें include हो गई. So government is doing its job, okay. हमको पहले अगर dyslexia में थोड़े provisions चाहिए होते थे तो नहीं मिलते थे, अभी मिल रहे हैं, बहुत easily मिल रहे हैं. I'm just giving a brief on what is NEP and how government is doing this and why are we working for awareness, okay. So it says specialized training is there for special educators, inclusive classrooms, inclusion children with disabilities in regular. We already have here ma'am who's already taking care of a lot of kids. Resource centers, the establishment of resource centers in school is encouraged to provide support. Okay? Yes, can we change? Barrier-free access. The NEP emphasizes the importance of creating barrier-free. So this is a physical thing. है ना कि ramp होना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए. It also says assistive technology. Okay, I can vouch on it that we have a lot of assistive technology, but we still refrain from using it. हमको ये लगता है कि screen time बहुत बढ़ जाता है मैम, right? Screen time बहुत, but screen time बढ़ने का, there are other things where you can curtail, but here you should give them that power of being individual, independent, right? किसी को dependent होने में मज़ा आता है? No. Yes, so this is home-based education, teacher education. This is just for your reference. This is already available on the net also. Can we change? So we've also seen effects of pandemic, wherein there's a lot of influx. Can anyone tell me what is the main issue right now with every parent or a teacher? I think you've already known four pillars. तो आपको क्या लगता है? अभी major issue क्या है? Yes, less attention span. Do you all agree with me? Okay. Yes. I think if you remember, हमारे पास like when I was young, we never had the mobile phone. हम तो सबके phone number याद रखते थे. कितनी memory थी तब? Birthdays याद रहते. Number. True.
वो वाले अभी भी याद है, पर नहीं.
True. Yes, yes. That's true. So, Abhi, I do feel that there's a lot of attention issues, okay? The second issue which all of you feel is which one? Attention to hai hi hai. Hum logo ko bhi like, we fidget, we cannot sit at one place. Restlessness, yes? FOMO तो अभी स्क्रीन टाइम से बहुत होने लगा है. ये क्या कर रहा है, वो क्या कर रहा है. So all the skills which were there earlier, which were very strong, it's missing out right now. Do you agree with that? Yes, sir. Exactly. You feel embarrassed. True. Exactly, exactly. That's true, and I'm going to touch upon that. You know, today I'm going to touch upon that. I'll just take you to a brief journey of dyslexia, but then I'm going to touch mainly upon that. You know, why is it important? Why self-esteem is important? Okay, so I also feel that there is a lot of learning issues which has come up with COVID. Okay, पहले 10 to 15% बच्चे already issues face कर रहे थे. With COVID, there's the influx, right? Then more people, when you see कि नहीं basics ही नहीं थे, क्यों? क्योंकि online किया था, right? So that gap, एक तो gap था, ऊपर से COVID का gap ज़्यादा हो रहा है, okay? So this is just a stat for you to see कि already 10 to 15% of children were facing learning issues. हम लोग dyslexia बाद में बोलेंगे because जब हम definition learn कर लेंगे तो हम dyslexia बोल देंगे. But this is the stats. Can you imagine 70% of 10-year-old are unable to read? I mean, just imagine कितना gap. और बच्चा अंदर से कितना issue में है. All right, so here we come with our special educational needs. Okay, अभी special educational needs क्या है या learning difficulties क्या है आप ही मुझे बताओगे because आपने already 4 pillars learn कर लिए. Right, so the first one is issues with attention. So that is attention deficit disorder. Okay, okay. The second one, perception. We don't have a whiteboard, otherwise I would have given you one more activity on perception. That's okay. So perception में क्या आता है? How do you learn language? How do you know this is A? How do you know this is B? आपका mind perceive करता है कि अच्छा ये है एक line और ऊपर से half C उल्टा तो that is B. Right? So issues with perception. कहाँ जाएगा? Learning difficulty like dyslexia, right? Difficulty with words, because perception different हो रहा है. जैसे मैम ने right side से लिखा, you know, I'm sure काफी दूसरों जनों ने भी लिखा होगा, but they didn't tell me. See, no, but that's correct, right? So अगर आपका परसेप्शन डिफरेंट है, राइट, मुझे बी ऐसे नहीं दिख रहा है, मुझे बी ऐसे दिख रहा है, तो एम आई रॉन्ग? एम आई रॉन्ग? नो, मुझे जो दिखा वो मैंने लिखा, राइट? सो इट्स राइट, एवरीथिंग इज राइट. जैसा आई सेड एवरीथिंग इज फेयर इन लव एंड वॉर, तो एवरीथिंग इज राइट, मुझे जैसा दिखा मैंने लिखा, राइट. द थर्ड वन, issues with memory. Yes, as ma'am also said, there are major issues with memory because there's a lot of screen time, lot of attention issues. तो वो process ही नहीं होता information to go inside the long term memory. बीच में से ही, you know, you तितर फितर and the information's gone. Right. The third one, the fourth one, sorry, expression. Expression. I think he rightly mentioned that you know, people judge कर लेते हैं, you know, embarrass कर देते हैं. Also there are certain aspects of social competence जहाँ पे बच्चा ठीक नहीं होता और he is not able to manage himself or herself in a social environment. That is autism. Okay, we'll just touch upon these two because मैं 40 minutes में इतना सारा कवर नहीं कर पाऊंगी, but we'll definitely try and cover as much as possible. Yes, so this is just a brief of what is it. ADD, ADHD, dyslexia means difficulty with word sounds, memory and sequencing. Okay, अगर आपने वो उल्टा भी लिखा होगा तो एक आगे लिख दिया होगा, एक पीछे लिख दिया होगा. It's an everyday thing for a child with dyslexia. हर रोज़ आप 1, 2, 3 इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हो, वो 3 पहले कर देता है, एक भूल ही जाता है, ओके, 2 बाद में करता है, एंड देन ही फेसेस अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिटिसिज्म इन द क्लासरूम. Yes, so we'll go forward. I'm going to share stats on attention deficit disorder. I think you all know, you know, अगर हमको टेस्ट भी करना है तो there are observation checklist, which we also have. You can definitely get back to us and we'll share the checklist with you, okay, how to figure out what is the child is having ADD, ADHD, impulsive type or inattentive type or hyperactive type. So 1 to 6% of school age population is estimated to be affected by ADD, ADHD. 80% of students are behind in at least one academic subject. 25% students are expelled. Okay, so there's a huge overlap, coexisting learning or behavior issues. क्या होता है कि अगर आप attentive नहीं होते हो तो मैं जो बोल रही हूँ आप सुन नहीं पाओगे. बाद में मैं एग्ज़ाम लेती हूँ तो आप बोल रहे अच्छा मेरा तो attention ही नहीं था, क्या बोले? So then you have learning issues. I'm just giving you a brief example. Okay? और फिर नहीं आता तो फिर दूसरा लेक्चर में ले रही हूँ तो आपका ध्यान ही नहीं रहता. So it's two sides of the same coin. राइट, अटेंशन नहीं है तो इशू आने वाला है और इशू है तो अटेंशन भी नहीं रहने वाला है. सो दिस इज़ एन अटेंशन, एवरेज अटेंशन स्पैन फॉर योर रेफरेंस. हमको पता चलना चाहिए कि अगर एवरेज कितना है तो हमको पता चले कि ओके इसमें इशू है या नहीं. ओके, व्हाट हैपन्स, we'll have observation and checklist, then we will score it up. There are parent and teacher checklists which are different. We use DSM-5, Corners rating scale, and then what are the next steps? तो इनका intervention क्या होता है? See, sir, medicine prescribe करते हैं for different reason, but he also knows a lot of people, doctors who prescribe medicine. हम लोग medicine prescribe नहीं करते, right? So what do? We take them through sensory integration therapy, wherein we train their mind to focus on one particular task, right? Multisensory, all 5 senses to focus on one particular task. Yes, so we've already mentioned, but we do not do medication. We do not prescribe. So autism, it's a neurological developmental disorder. आपने काफ़ी सारी movies भी देखी होगी, you know. It's very difficult for a child or a person, you know, because they will have a sensory issue, you know. So वो एक हम लोग बोलते हैं कि ये इसमें इसको आवाज़ से प्रॉब्लम है या यहाँ पे है, एंड एवरीवन्स इंडिविजुअल. ओके, देयर आर नो क्लियर कट ऑफ पॉइंट्स कि ये है तो ये है, एंड दैट इज़ वाई दे फॉल इनटू ASD. All right, So Dyslexia Awareness Month. Dyslexia. What is dyslexia? पहले हम चालू करेंगे prominent dyslexic people से. चलो, किसको पता है? Famous dyslexic people, yes? Okay. Yes, of course, Einstein. iPhone के कौन use करे? iPhone? अभिषेक बच्चन. हाँ बोलो. Yes, yes, yes. Picasso, yes. Hrithik Roshan, yes. He has a speech issue as well. Right. Okay. So what is dyslexia? Dyslexis, difficulty with words. Difficulty with words. It is mainly due to perception issues, right? Unke dono, I mean, both their hemispheres are working. Okay, hamara kya, if I'm a righty, my left hemisphere is prominent, right? So then I can actually put B as B correctly. But sometimes my left is prominent, sometimes my right is prominent. So kya hoga? Confusion, right? So this is a definition for you. It comes from a Greek dyslexis, and they have different ways of storing, retrieving, and organizing language. They are slower in processing auditory or visual information. So here 20% of children, 1 in 5. Can you imagine a classroom? 1 in 5 children are having dyslexia. And the teacher ratio of who know what is dyslexia is 1 in 10. Right? Now, I would also like to reiterate here कि हम लोग government को भी बोलते हैं कि inclusive education करो. We have a lot of people, teachers should be available, teachers should do this. Okay, I genuinely feel there are many schools who do not take children. अगर उनके पास ये report है कि आप dyslexic हो या आपको dyslexia है, तो वो school में नहीं लेंगे. Are you aware about those things? Why? Why are they doing this? Because there is lack of awareness. Awareness is extremely important if we want to have an inclusive society, inclusive environment to study. अगर सबको पता होता तो वो ना नहीं बोलते, but पता ही नहीं होता है कि इनके साथ काम कैसे करें. Okay? Yeah, so these are basic facts. It can occur at any age. It does not have any connection with intelligence. Generally, these children or adults are average to above average intelligent. Okay, if I'm terming you as dyslexic, okay, then they have average to above average intelligence. Severity will differ. As I said, 20% of population. Right? अभी एक नई बात भी आई है, I'll share. Causes, genetic causes. Here, I would just like to share a brief about me as Pujam's already shared that I have a child, okay? And I came into this area because जब मेरा बच्चा 4-5 साल का था, मुझे पता चला कि he is not able to sit. He can write alphabets right to left, पूरा, हाँ? पूरा, in mirror image. The teacher said, I'm sorry, I will not be able to take this child. Okay, we are not equipped, इसको घर पे बिठाओ, आपको जो करना है करो. The society also mentioned saying that, अरे क्या ज़रूरत है स्कूल भेजने की, घर पे बिठा लो ना, ऑफिस है, ऑफिस में बिठा लो. You know, this is how people treat. I knew that he has a very strong observation. He has a very strong out of the box thinking. Okay, but वो कार स्केच करता था कि मुझे ऐसी कार्स बनानी है, but alphabets नहीं आते थे उसको. Okay, well in while regarding coming to the causes, I was infected by rubella. All right, so rubella infection caused me to have a child having some issues. Now being a doctor myself, I'm sure he will agree. We will go to all our books and figure out कि आनो सु है. Right? That time we were not in Google ka zamana. I was definitely not in a Google ka zamana. I had only books. That time I realized that, you know, there is something which is going to be wrong, but then I forgot completely till he was 4, right? Lot of issues with developmental delay, okay? Speech delay. So here, what I'm trying to tell you is there are genetic causes. 65% of children have genetic links, okay? The other ones acquired like brain injury, forceps delivery हुआ या बच्चा गिर गया, and then your area of learning gets affected. Developmental dyslexia caused by hormonal development during early stages of fetal development. I'm just taking it a brief so that you know कि हमको अगर parents से बात करते हैं या society में किसी से बात करते हैं तो it will just help us to reach out to them. Stressed antenatal history. Okay, हम पूछते हैं, when we take a history, we'll ask them, okay, stress hatu pregnancy में okay? All right, so then this is plenum temporal. As I said, this is the area which is responsible for learning language. Okay, generally it has right temporal brain and left temporal plenum. I think it'll be easier, as I said earlier, कि मेरे दोनों हेमिस्फीयर काम करते हैं, तो कोई बार information इधर गई, कोई बार information इधर गई, right? That's how I get issues with letters or reversals. This you'll be able to see, right?
People think of dyslexia. They think of seeing letters and words backwards, like seeing B as D and vice versa. Or they might think people with dyslexia see saw as was. The truth is, people with dyslexia see things the same way as everyone else. Dyslexia is caused by a phonological processing problem, meaning people affected by it have trouble not with seeing language, but with manipulating it. For example, if you heard the word cat and then someone asked you, remove the C, what word would you have left? At. This can be difficult for those with dyslexia. Given a word in isolation like fantastic, students with dyslexia need to break the word into parts to read it. Fan, tas, tick. Time spent decoding makes it hard to keep up with peers and gain sufficient comprehension. Spelling words phonetically like S-T-I-K for stick and F-R-E-N-S for friends is also common. These difficulties are more widespread and varied than commonly imagined.
Do you get it? Right. So how do we identify them? I mean, what should be the age? શું લાગે છે તમને કેટલું જલ્દી આપણને ખબર પડે કે બાળકને કઈ તકલીફ છે? Specifically dyslexia, because it's dyslexia awareness month. How early can you identify? What do you think? 4 to 5 years? Anybody else? 6? Why? First grade? Okay, I have a news for you. We can actually start assessing them at the age of 2.5 years. Okay, this is new, so why wait till 6 years? Because we thought that, you know, that time he reads, so we'll give him some time. But the latest research says that we can actually identify them at 2.5 years onwards. तो early करते हैं ना, early identify कर लेते हैं ना, तो by 6 जब हमारा brain neuroplastic होता है. Of course, sir will be knowing better than what I speak about brain's neuroplasticity. But then 0 to 5 years, we should utilize the most. All right? So हम लोग early कर सकते हैं. Try and figure out that we can start looking for signs early. What happens? Poor decoding skills, poor spelling, impairment in reading accuracy. Reading નથી આવડતું. બીજું બધું આવડે છે. Reading કરવા બેસતો જ નથી. These are common sentences we hear. As I said, there's a lot of, they will take 3 instructions at a time, but they will fulfill only 1. Okay? So these are all poor comprehension. They will read. Okay. The other thing is they will read completely. I have a paragraph. I've actually prepared a paragraph for you, wherein I thought I'll give it to you. So they will read, but then आप पूछोगे उसको, अच्छा, what did you read? Say that we don't know. Right? So again, issue. Comprehension is not there. They can read, but then there's no comprehension. Right? So I'm just giving you a brief of what are early indicators. Difficulty in naming alphabets. As I shared my own story saying that when I was young and my child was 4 years, I was just talking to Dr. Ravi saying that I did not get help anywhere. I came to Ahmedabad, I went to Mumbai. I stayed there for 6 months. I did not get help. I had to move to London to take help, to take that early intervention, early diagnosis. Right? Abhi hum sab idhar kar sakte hain. Right? This was 20 years back, but that was a very bad phase when we did not get help here. So difficulty writing the letters of alphabets from memory. आप उसको पूछोगे A to Z, 4-5 खा जाएंगे. Difficulty in word retrieval, difficulty in speaking, they generally have speech delay. Pronunciations difficult, okay? These are just, because आप आए हो तो थोड़ा दे देती हूँ, you know, it's like dyscalculia. I think the name itself is enough. Difficulty with, okay. Dysgraphia, आप expert हो गए. Language. Writing, yes. Right? So it's graphomotor skills. So it's graphia, dysgraphia, defect. Dyspraxia? हम OT में भेजते हैं बच्चे को. क्यों? ऐसे चलते चलते गिर जाता है. Right? Difficulty with motor coordination. All right? We will have other sessions gradually, but अभी मैं इसमें deep में नहीं जा सकती, you know. So just a brief, okay, examples. बीच वाला मेरे बच्चे का ही है, हाँ. So generally we cannot share without parents' permission. Yes. Yes. Okay, read. Please read. 1 minute. No. 30 seconds, no, Pooja ma'am? 30 seconds. Chalo, read. बोलना मुझे 30 seconds. Who is trying? Trying, no? Ten more seconds. Please read it aloud. Yes, sir. Can I give you a mic?
I suppose, or poetry in, no, right, other, my was, my uncle was a horse.
You gave up. He's the one only who was trying. Who gave up? Oh my God.
You gave me mic, so I had to keep up your confidence.
I appreciate, so thank you. Is it difficult? क्यों difficult है? मैं तो दूसरे भी लेकर आई हूँ. हाँ? दूँ आपको पढ़ने के लिए? Paragraph ही है खाली. This is difficult. Why? Everyone's overwhelmed. Why? You started from right. You've not it. True. True. And why did you start reading from right? क्यों? वो तो we were taught, no, we start from left.
Left to right, right to left.
Yes.
Sentence started with a capital on the
Yes, sir.
It was also difficult because I didn't have a mirror. Like they were given,
आप बोलते तो मैं दे देती.
yeah, then I would have looked at it and
True.
read it.
So what has happened is that we're taught in a way that the capital letter, the sentence starts with a capital letter. So irrespective of that कि you didn't think कि हम left से ही चालू करते हैं. नहीं, right में capital है तो right से चालू. This is an everyday thing for a child with dyslexia. Everyday thing. 5 minutes में 5 minutes में नहीं 30 seconds. Pooja has only given me 30 seconds. Difficult, no? Can you imagine what they must be feeling in the classroom? अच्छा स्ट्रेंथ्स तो हमने पहले ही बोल ली. आईफोन आ गया, और क्या आया, एडिसन आ गया, we have actors, और yes, absolutely it's their strength. And recently there has been a dyslexic university which has come up with Richard Branson. All right, so this is where they foster children with dyslexia. There was a time in Google where they had mentioned that this job is only for people having dyslexia. So you had to give your report before applying for that job. Why? Because they have a lot of strengths. Now let's try and focus. This means difficulty में बहुत focus किया, right? So let's just focus a bit on the strengths. Oh yeah. So as I said, average to above average IQ. They have 3D, 4D vision. Okay, they are out of the box thinkers. कुछ भी कहाँ से भी कर सकते हैं. But reading में issue रहेगा. Okay. Right? So how do you teach them the way they learn reading is the crux. Right? And you start utilizing their creative abilities. My one question was that यहाँ पे जैसे pictures हम लोग download करते हैं, we only get people from abroad. So Western culture के ही होते हैं, हमारे क्यों नहीं होते? Am I right? Exactly, there's a stigma here. Social stigma. You won't believe when I started getting into this area of, being a consultant, and I was with the school, people will not come and talk to me. If I go on to a party or a social function, people will not come and say hello to me. Why? Because they will start feeling कि आनी साथ बात कर सुन तो गाम नेम था सके हमारा child ने एक problem. Yes.
Social media generally, and in nowadays what I realize is everybody thinks who is successful is right. It's not. And who becomes successful are the one who comes in media. These people also are here because they have achieved something.
Yeah,
When
that's
no
true.
reason there,
Absolutely.
there could be a lot of children who did not make it to this level, and they had faced stigma abroad also.
No, I agree. See, what has happened is that whenever we went to a conference in UK, they had actually used Tare Zameen Par to teach the public what is dyslexia, right? So I'm not saying that India is on that level. My only concern is that there is still a lot more awareness where we can also have Edisons here, which are Indian. My only...
Statistics is also a problem. Probably they have made it and they don't know that background of that story person that he was dyslexic.
No, see, if you see Einstein's story, if you see Edison's story, it was like they were expelled from the school.
Correct, but now we know because of social media. We never knew he was dyslexic.
No,
Nobody told us he was dyslexic.
Exactly, but what happened was that at that time when we went out of India, people were more accepting. Okay, so what we need to do is like we have a lot more brains here than abroad. So my only request to all of you is that we need more tare here in India, right? We need sitare actually. Yes. I think I've spoken about this. Self-esteem, this is very, very important. Very, very important. Mental health. I think all of us are now aware about mental health due to COVID. Right? But self-esteem is utmost important. In any of the interventions we do, my first task is to have the highest of their self-esteem. Right? Padna sikha denge, but self-esteem to highest honi hi chahiye. And how do you have that? The first question, and you all answered that. How do you have good self-esteem? You'd already answered. Yes. We accept them the way they are. Right? That will be amazing. I think these are the stress behavioral problems. Essential components of self-esteem: sense of security, identity, belonging, purpose, and personal competence. These are extremely, extremely important for anybody, not just for child with dyslexia, but we need to make sure that these components are taken care of with children having learning issue. So what will happen when we do intervention with them? Intervention is when we teach them the way they learn and try and bridge the gap. Okay, it's this simple. Intervention in definition, so it's as simple. We try and teach them the way they learn, okay, and bridge the gap. A learner feels accepted, right? The first thing, high self-esteem. When you're accepted, you have better self-esteem. Okay, when you're not accepted, you feel people are judging me. Motivation to use the strength and combat weaknesses. Then I know, acha mane khali aa nathi avadtu, mane spellings nathi avadta, but I can do better. Okay, a confidence ave. Technology in picture. NEP also has been reiterating about technology, use assistive technology. Technology have apni friend bani gayi chhe, if we use it correctly. If we use it correctly. Independence and better learner. Okay, with AI, the story is much more higher. Grammar no tension by you tell AI to draft an email. Put an empathetic note. You will do it, right? Yes. Okay, so this is my son's experience. Okay, so why is he reiterating on certain things?
Hello, I'm Hitarth, and I was early diagnosed with dyslexia when I was about 4 to 5 years old. Currently, I'm doing my law, and I'm in my 4th year. I think early diagnosis is extremely important when it comes to learning disabilities, because learning disabilities is something that, really impacts you during your developmental age. When you were in grade 2 or grade 3 and you see that you're not able to do simple things that your peers around you are able to do, be it reading or, writing a few sentences. And therefore, I think what early diagnosis does is that it not only helps you to, start working on those skills that you lack in so much, but also it helps the people around you to have an effective intervention. And when I say effective intervention, it's also about the psychological intervention I'm saying. Because when your self-confidence gets so low because you're not able to do the simplest things, when your teachers and parents support you and say that, like there's much more that you can do apart from this, it really pushes you up high, and then you can focus on the things that really impact. So I think early diagnosis, not only as a way of intervention to improve your certain skills, but also as a psychological intervention is extremely essential to ensure that, a child with learning disabilities always, or any form of disabilities, always has their self-confidence high, which is extremely important.
This is when he was in college. He's a lawyer right now. When he said that he wants to become a lawyer, I was shattered. I said, I reading matlo ishwa to lawyer ke, this is like, this is what comes to my mind. But no, if they feel karna hai, they will be able to do it. So this was when he was okay. So this is just an example of if you do not identify child early. Okay, this is a grade 7. This is a grade 7 child's work which I'm showing you. Okay, so please don't wait too long. Yes, Pooja. Okay, so we've already said a lot about it. This is family history. How do you identify? So I'm just giving you a brief. Yes. Here, screening and assessment are extremely important. And that is where I'm trying to tell you as early as possible. Screening is not about telling that your child has issue. It's more about how do you help them. All right. So this is a checklist. If you need, please come to us. I'm going to quickly run through the presentation. We can have this later on. This is just a typical dyslexic profile during the assessment. These are the ideal plan, what should be done, all right? And the government has also done a lot of things. We get extra time, reader and a writer for this. But you need to have a proper assessment for it. I will actually take a break now. And I appreciate that all of you are here, not just to know more about dyslexia, but to know more about how all individual minds learn, and they can be absolutely brilliant. So thank you so much.
So, good evening, everyone. So, majority of the aspects of dyslexia are covered. Madam has done a great job to make you understand everything about dyslexia. So, because I'm a psychiatrist, so I more into emotions. Also, we have seen that if the child has developed certain emotions, it may hamper his or her ability to learn. So, there is no problem apart from reading or whatever the dyslexia has caused the problem. So intelligence has no issue. The problem is in the recognition, processing and making a proper thing. So if I tell that a child has an issue and every day he has same issue and everybody reminds him of the same issue, what kind of emotions a child develops? Confidence. Yes. Failure. So, if a child has developed this kind of emotions, but majority of that happens at school. So, this comparison and his, yes, so happens at school. And if similar thing happens in home, so when even parents compare, so parents have no awareness. So the early intervention starts when there is education, psychoeducation, awareness regarding dyslexia, general public, particularly in parents. So school has now for last 10 to 15 years, every school has awareness about dyslexia, learning disabilities, even so many learning disabilities are there in ADHD, ADD, autism. So all of these are comorbid. So everything happens together sometimes. So the awareness in the general public particularly in parents is very much important. And if parents can understand. So I have also developed certain slides. So, but I'm more into showing you about emotional support. Okay, so the child faces certain issue in a day-to-day basis. वो अपने आप को compare करेगा peers के साथ. So here what we can do as a parents, discuss the specific challenges. ठीक है? So कहाँ पे issue हो रहा है? और you know how you have a hard time reading signs and copying notes from the board. So that's dyslexia. You can tell the child. Okay, particular issue is there and you are facing the issue and that is an illness, so you can come out of it. Acknowledge their efforts and celebrate hard work. आपको पता है कि उनकी processing speed बहुत slow है, but the efforts we have to acknowledge. Otherwise, so every human mind runs on recognition and motivation. So that is the basic behavior modification technique. आप किसी से कुछ काम करवाना चाहते हैं तो कैसे करवा सकते हैं? ठीक है? So this kind of techniques you have to learn. हेल्प देम रिकॉग्नाइज देयर स्ट्रेंथ. सो हमें पता है कि उनको रीडिंग में प्रॉब्लम है या कैलकुलेशन मैथ में प्रॉब्लम है, पर्टिकुलर इशू है, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट दे हैव क्रिएटिव माइंड, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स बहुत अच्छी होती है. अभी हमने देखा कि कौन कौन से मतलब फेमस जो हो चुके हैं, सो एवरीबडी हैड डिसलेक्सिया. सो हेल्प देम टू रिकॉग्नाइज दैट स्ट्रेंथ. सो वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है. एंड कभी कभी बच्चा नेगेटिव सेल्फ टॉक भी करेगा, सो वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट. ठीक है. सो आई एम जस्ट स्टूपिड, डोंट इग्नोर दैट. अगर ऐसा होता है सो जस्ट डोंट इग्नोर दैट. इवन इन स्कूल भी होगा, और स्कूल में भी बहुत सारा पीयर प्रेशर, कंपैरिजन, ये सब कुछ होता है. अगर सो नाउ एवरी स्कूल हैज़ स्कूल काउंसलर, स्पेशल एजुकेटर्स, बिकॉज CBSE एफिलिएशन के लिए दैट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड. सो स्पेशल एजुकेटर, स्कूल काउंसलर को भी ये सारी चीज़ें आइडेंटिफाई करनी होती है. सडन ड्रॉप इन एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस और बिहेवियरल इश्यूज़. जब पीयर प्रेशर होता है, दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड सर्टेन थिंग्स, इस तरह के नेगेटिव सेल्फ टॉक होते हैं. सो ये सारी चीज़ें वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई, एंड ऑल्सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड कि इतना हार्ड अपने ऊपर नहीं होना आता है, बिकॉज दे हैव सर्टेन स्किल्स, फोकस ऑन दैट. सो दीज आर द स्ट्रेंथ्स ऑफ डिसलेक्सिया. मैम ने भी पहले बता दिया है. सो एज अ साइकियाट्रिस्ट, सो वी डू नॉट रन अ चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंटल सेंटर. सो we do assessments and everything, but we refer them to the experts, so those who are into everything multisensory integration and also. So accommodations for kids with dyslexia, so particularly in school, so certain provisions hone chahiye, extra time milna chahiye. Sometimes provision for a person, the option to record lectures. So there is a story that वन गर्ल, प्रोबेबली डिसलेक्सिया, ये 20 साल पहले की स्टोरी है. प्रोबेबली डिसलेक्सिया, वेरी पुअर इन रीडिंग, पता नहीं चलता था, मतलब पढ़ भी लेते बट समझ नहीं पाते थे कि क्या पढ़ा क्या हुआ. अगर तो चलता रहा, पासिंग मार्क्स से सी इवन रीच टू 10th स्टैंडर्ड, फेल्ड इन 10th स्टैंडर्ड. फिर आफ्टर 2 times सी गेव अनदर एग्ज़ाम्स एंड उसके बाद पास हो गई. बट उसके बाद 12th वगैरह के लिए ग्रेजुएट हो गए. बट देयर इज़ ऑलवेज अ प्रॉब्लम, सी कैन नॉट रीड. और कैसे पढ़ाई किया? सुन सुन के. अगर पर्टिकुलरली अगर कोई मुझे समझाता है तो मुझे समझ में आता है, पर आप मुझे पढ़ के समझने को बोलो, मेरे को नहीं समझ में आता है. यस. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ stories we have seen a lot. So there should be an option to record lectures, option to give verbal rather than written answers, elimination of oral reading in class, exemption from foreign language learning. So there are certain accommodations that should be there if a child has dyslexia or any learning disabilities. So madam has told about multisensory instruction. So there is one example. For many multisensory lessons, kids engage with the material in more than one way. So we have 5 senses. So for example, say a class is studying apples. So apple पढ़ रहे हैं. So क्या हो सकता है? Kids might have the chance to visually examine, मतलब क्लास में एक्चुअली एप्पल होना चाहिए, उसको विजुअली एग्जामिन करेंगे, स्मेल कर सकते हैं, टच कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज़ अ मल्टी सेंसरी जो यूज़ होता है अप्रोच फॉर रीडिंग, लिसनिंग. सो हाउ दे ग्रो, हाउ दे लर्न. सो उससे पर्टिकुलरली दोज चिल्ड्रन विथ लर्निंग डिसेबिलिटी, उनको बहुत फ़ायदा होता है. और वही चीज़ ये जो मल्टी सेंसरी अप्रोच है वो बहुत बेनिफिट करता है उनको लर्निंग में. So multisensory instructions in decoding skills, repetitions and review of skills, intensivity of intervention. मतलब उसको एक्स्ट्रा टाइम, एक्स्ट्रा हेल्प कितनी बार मिल रही है वो उसके ऊपर ज़्यादा देना चाहिए. सो इफ़ अ चाइल्ड इज़ गेटिंग 1 hour 2 hour एक्स्ट्रा एवरी वीक, सो इट शुड बी मोर देन 5 hours 6 hours based on the level of disability. Small group or individual instructions, teaching the decoding skills, ड्रिलिंग द साइट वर्ड्स, जो कॉमनली यूज वर्ड्स है उसको रिपीटेशन बहुत बार उनसे रिपीट करवाया जाए, बार बार बताया जाए. सो ड्रिलिंग द साइट वर्ड्स, teaching comprehension strategies to help kids derive meaning from what they are reading. So ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत important है for dyslexia children. And emotionally, it is very important to support the children and accept them the way they are. The ma'am has already told us. So I have nothing more to say. I will hand over the mic to ma'am if she wants to add something, or if she wants to complete her presentation or anything more than that. So.
Thank you, sir. So I think you've actually covered the major aspect, which was to let people know like what are the government and what are the provisions which these children get, you know, like they can get one language off if they are identified earlier, and if they have an assessment, they can get extra time, reader, writer, you know, everything is available. And as I shared earlier, there was this PWD 2016 Act, which has gained almost more than 11 difficulties or disabilities. You know, I generally don't like to use the word disability, but yeah. Yeah, so here I would like, just want to complete a bit of the intervention part, like what are the interventions which you, if you've come here, you can take a bit. Sir has already shared that all the schools are having, but there are a lot of intervention strategies which you can also do it. So it's sensory integration therapy with brain gym and learning gym. We generally try and do it, but with everyone here. But so there's a structured literacy program, as sir said, that how do you teach them decoding skills? You know, there's a whole program for that. We also use a lot of assistive technologies. I said I want the learners to become independent. So then we use assistive technology. Speed Up is a kinesthetic writing program, you know, the dysgraphia. Okay, it's a structure. I believe there has to be a structure. I'm sure sir will also agree with me that we need a structure, you know, if you're working with them. So behavior modification therapy with emotions, EQ sessions, you know. So this is how children are doing sensory integration therapy. It's edukinesiology. It's study of movement and its relationship to whole brain learning, you know. How does it help? It gives a lot of blood influx to your brain, so then you feel less tired. You know, otherwise I think I'm sure you all must be feeling a cognitive fatigue. Are you all feeling that? Cognitive fatigue बहुत हो गया. हो रहा है? Okay. Right, so this is just for attention. What we do is we give them Feingold diet, sensory integration, making the child sit in front of the classroom, memory triggers बनाते हैं, repetitions के लिए we give them different sheets. Reading, the major thing which has work is color coding, wherein you write vowels in red color. So if it's C-A-T, cat, C and T are in blue or black color, but A is in red color. That's how you teach your brain to read. All right, and you'll find the difference. Sir has already taken this, so yes, it's mandatory for CBSE and all. We'll go forward. This is the Sensible Labs. We've been a new addition to Ahmedabad at SWS, and these are all the services which are available. We've also started Brave Hearts Parent Support Group, okay, wherein we meet the parents, share their experiences, and they feel heard that okay, hu ekli nathi, you know, there are people, Janatha, if I'm down, I can talk to the group that this is how I'm feeling right now, or this is how I've helped my child, see if it helps you, you know. So it's like a support, acceptance, and then supporting each other. Yes, so this is, like I always feel, you know, everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb the tree, it will live its whole life feeling it's stupid. So thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for being so patient. Questions? Questions?
You said something called assistive
Yeah, so assistive technology is how do you use technology to teach them decoding skills, memory skills, processing skills, like CogMed. CogMed is a program which is actually on the laptop, and it helps you to enhance your processing speed. You know, but because what happens is otherwise children will not sit with you with a pen and paper. So these technology will help. Also, there is this text-to-speech. I think now every laptop is having that. Recently, there is a writing pen or a reading pen, which is also accepted by the boards. Like you can use that pen and it will read the text. You have your earplugs and it will read the text for you so that you can answer the questions. There are certain children who will read a reader. So this will make them independent. For writer. There is another assistive technology which has recently come up. It's a pen like this, and you have a paper, you just scan it, and it will give you the comprehension. So they will save on the time. You know, so the task is to help them become more independent using these technologies. Yes.
Good. I just came to attend this very consciously because Bombay we still have a little bit of, but Ahmedabad I don't find that kind of rather like easily availability. Like now I can say that you have an institute kind of. I found one institute of mental health while walking on the Ashram Road. I forgot the name. So we need to have a place where we can find this in one place. That's one thing.
That's very true.
And you can, I missed your introduction, like if you have some therapy kind of services, you can let me know.
Definitely, right? Definitely, we'll let you know. Thank you so much.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for your speech. I came here so late because I was in my meeting. So sorry for that. One of the things which I want to ask you, that right now we are very much aware as a youth that what we want from our lives for after 10 years and after 5 years, what will we be, where will we be. But there are two questions. First is for myself currently, that I learned something very great about dyslexia and many more things about emotions and all that stuff. What if I find out some things, not the whole thing in myself, like I'm not that person who have the whole dyslexia, but there are some things which I'm lacking to, like in reading if you're talking about that I lost what I read. I read a lot of books, but I lost what I read properly. So how I have to come, like have to solve those problems in myself, and if and after later 5 to 6 years I will give born to my child, then I want myself physically and mentally fit so that I can able to deliver a child in the earth who is like mentally and physically so sharp. So which things and which practices I have to put in myself currently, and right now I'm 19, so
you're 18, 19, okay.
So which things I have to like put in up?
So the question is for me or for sir?
Yes.
Or for both?
Both, like whosoever wanted
all right.
share.
Okay. So the first thing is that, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Vidhi.
Vidhi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vidhi, the first thing is that the question which you're putting up right now is the first step to acceptance.
Yeah.
So you've taken the first step already.
Yeah.
That okay, if I have this, or if I want to improve on this,
yeah,
right? So that is the first step. So you've already taken the first step. What I would suggest is that wherever you find difficulty, try and take an assessment for that. You know, again, I was just reiterating on that assessment are not to find faults. Assessments are mainly to find solutions, right? So if suppose you're taking an assessment with me,
Yeah.
And we realize that, okay, your reading comprehension is an issue, or your reading age is probably a year behind, for example. We will give you certain strategies how to cope that up. Okay, so there are certain programs also how to cope that up. The other thing is, you're going to be an adult, you're going to give a birth to your child, right? So I feel that you're already a planned person, you know.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of planning that, okay, I need all these knowledge
Yeah.
if I want to give a healthy birth.
Yeah.
So you already know that you don't have to do stress during your pregnancy.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going to give a birth to a healthy child.
Yeah.
But what I feel is, wherever you find an issue, try and sort it out with a solution. What strategy will work for you, for example, for your attention or for your reading skill, you know, and then continuously practice that. And you will surely see a difference that, okay, your reading age from here has improved to here after 8 months, for example. Right? So take a strategic approach. That is my way of looking at it.
Okay. Thank you.
So, as such, there is no significant role of medicine. But yes, in certain issues like attention, working memory, so for that nutraceutical, certain amino acids like L-carnosine, so there are so many products available that can actually help. So they are not the solution, but help learning, yes. Somehow they help in increasing attention, working memory, because these all are nutraceuticals, so it is actually the food for a brain, so fuel. So agar proper fuel milega to work proper hoga, but they are not the solution, they just help. The solution is the integration therapy and everything for the learning proper way, early identification, intervention and everything. So it is just a support. Yes, yes, it can some way complement. Yes. So usually, if there is any issue with in the child for a particular reading difficulty, so you either approach to a developmental pediatrician or psychiatrist or those child psychologists or particular developmental centers. But from that there is assessment, and after that, if they suggest, then you can meet psychiatrists and all. So assessment and confirmation of the diagnosis is the first step. After that, everything comes after that.
Many times, parents come to me with their child that my son or my daughter, my bacha is ADHD, and बोलना नहीं चाहिए, किसी को बुरा भी नहीं लगना चाहिए, कई बार डॉक्टर्स भी लिख के भेज देते हैं ADHD, करेक्ट, बट व्हेन वी वर्क विद देम, राइट, तो हमें कहीं ना कहीं पता चलता है कि देयर इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ डिसलेक्सिया. ड्यू टू दैट द चाइल्ड इज़ नॉट हैविंग इंटरेस्ट इन स्टडीज़, सो बैठा बैठा वो कुछ भी करेगा, खड़ेगा, इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी चीज़ों को हम लोगों ने गलत भी प्रूव किया है विद देयर रिजल्ट्स, राइट, विद थेरेपीज एंड द प्रैक्टिसेस ऐसे. तो मेडिसिन का आपने जैसे बोला, इट्स अ सपोर्ट, बट मेनी स्टूडेंट्स really those who are facing problem with they were having a mild ADHD also plus, तो कई बार वो हमको भी डिफरेंस नहीं पता चलता whether it is dyslexia or the hyperactivity is due to dyslexia और dyslexia की वजह से ये सब चीज़ें हो रही है. So mild dose of medicines have given miraculous results. मेरे पास examples हैं सेट हुए से, and the child has started focusing on the things and at least रीडिंग राइटिंग उनको आ गई है ऐसा.
So there is a role of medicine,
yes,
particularly in attention deficit hyperactivity
yes,
disorder.
Yes.
So there is no role of medicine in dyslexia.
Yes. No, not on that. Yes, this is what there are.
So what happens?
Rare
What happens? The diagnosis where you said that there is confusion, either because of the dyslexia child is hyperactive, or because of the attention deficit and hyperactivity, we feel there is always comorbidity.
Yes.
So if the primary diagnosis is ADHD, so then the child will improve.
Yes.
But the primary diagnosis is dyslexia, then
Yes.
child will not improve.
Yes.
So अगर confusion है तो 100 बच्चों में medicine दिया तो 50 might improve, but 50 might not.
Yes.
So ऐसा होता है.
नहीं, कई बार हमारे पास लिख के
Yes.
ADHD आ जाता है सर, डायग्नोसिस में लिख के आ जाता है, बट जब हम
So
बहुत
ये तो आप फेस कर रहे हैं, बट हमारे पास तो जो US से यहाँ पे आए हैं ना, उनको हर एक उनको सबका डायग्नोसिस एडल्ट ADHD होता है.
Yes, it
They don't diagnose depression, anxiety. They diagnose adult ADHD
yes.
or that methylphenidate. So that is a classified drug.
Yes, yes.
So it comes under NDPS Act.
Yes.
So is it not available easily? और हमारे अभी प्रिस्क्रिप्शन के 3 पार्ट बनते हैं.
Yes.
So उसके लिए भी बिकॉज वो कहीं मिलता नहीं है. So for that they come to us. Then we see ADHD तो है ही नहीं.
Yes, exactly.
So similar happens in. So sometimes क्या होता है कि बच्चा हाइपर एक्टिव है, पॉसिबल ADHD या ADHD लिख देते, बट एक्चुअली दैट शुड नॉट बी डन.
बच्चे आते हैं उसमें से 60% पे ADHD लिखा होता है, पर रीजंस बिहाइंड दैट आर
So proper assessment is the requirement. So हम usually, so as you all know that I have done DM in old age psychiatry. So मेरे पास जितने भी patient for dementia आते हैं, so I write dementia under investigation.
Yes.
मैं diagnosis नहीं लिखता हूँ. जब confirm होता है 1 month 2 month बाद तब लिखता हूँ. So under investigation, अभी तक label नहीं हुआ है. So that is the major part. अगर ADHD लिखते या attention deficit या hyperactivity under investigation, इस तरह से यूजुअली लिखना चाहिए, डायग्नोस नहीं करना
बिकॉज
चाहिए.
क्या बात होता है ना सर, कई बार जैसे लिख दिया जाता है ADHD, तो पेरेंट्स ADHD के हिसाब से वही एक्सरसाइजेस करवा रहे हैं बच्चों को, राइट. फिर बाद में कई बार पता चलता है कि ये नहीं, इसके पीछे कुछ और रीज़न है, तो तब तक काफ़ी लेट हो जाता है. एंड फॉर अस ऑल्सो इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू वर्क ऑन दैम. जैसे अर्ली इंटरवेंशन इज द बेस्ट थिंग, राइट.
सो
एंड डिसलेक्सिया में मैडम सबसे बड़ा इशू है, क्योंकि बच्चे में और कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती ना, तो पेरेंट्स भी अवॉइड करते हैं. कुछ पढ़ने में प्रॉब्लम है ना, ठीक हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा, बाकी चीज़ें चल रही हैं, कोई और प्रॉब्लम तो है नहीं, पता नहीं चलेगा, राइट. So hidden, yes. So acceptance with for the parents also. The early we accept that our child is having problem, success rates are too high.
Any other questions? No, I think then we can close the day. I would like to thank both of them on behalf of each one of us present over here. It has been fantastic listening to all the things that we had to talk about dyslexia, and I hope that at least each one of us tries to make difference in at least one child's life or one adult's life who can change by the understanding and awareness that we have had today. So thank you to both of you. Can we have a big round of applause for both of them? Since it's Dyslexia Awareness Month, I would also want to say that as Sensible Labs, we are having a Dyslexia Awareness Walk tomorrow. It starts from Gotila Garden at Sindhu Bhavan Road. It's a 1.6 kilometer walk only. It starts at 8 a.m. in the morning to 9 a.m., 1 hour. So if you can spare 1 hour of your time to come and support us through a little walk, that would be great. We have few parents here also who are coming for the same. If you need any more details for the same, please reach out to me. I can help you with that. And I think we can take a pause over here, and we hope to meet more such people, and we hope that we see more people. I think all the benches should be full when we are having sessions like this, so that it's not only us but everybody who's aware. And as ma'am always says, a child should not be known by the diagnosis that he or she has, but for the strengths that they possess. So let's hope for a better future, and thank you so much.